Good morning, dear student. I am Kunal Kiran from the Millennium School, Lucknow. Children, we have been discussing accounting equation. Yesterday, I have started this chapter and I taught you about what is accounting equation. As to recapitulate, accounting equation is total assets equal total liability, or in terms of outside liabilities and capital, the equation is assets equal liabilities plus capital. This is accounting equation. Our concern in this chapter to signifies that every transaction is following this accounting equation. It is true in every situation. In every transaction, we can present it in the form of accounting equation. And our practical equations is all about, they have given you the transactions and they ask you to present it those transaction in the form of accounting equation, and also ask you to prepare balance sheet. So moving forward in this line, I'm going to solve another question, another illustration. So this is an illustration having 12 transactions. So process yesterday I have discussed. First of all, you read out each transaction, decide what are the assets and liabilities are involved, and keep on writing those assets, name of the assets and liabilities on the first line. Like I show you here, like after reading out all the transaction, on the basis of reading out the transaction, you will decide what are the assets and liabilities are involved, and keep on writing here, right? Keep on writing here. So in this way, after reading all the transaction, you get to know what are the assets and liabilities are involved. Then after, one by one, you will write the transaction, and then you will show it in the form of equation, right? So I hope you have understood the process. The process is make a format, and these questions should be solved horizontally in your register because it takes a lot of space. And the same time, the process is first read out each transaction, analyze them, and note it down all the assets and liabilities involved in this question first, and then you will start writing the transaction and keep on showing them in the form of equation. So first transaction in the question is started business with cash, goods and building. So owner is starting the business, the assets, that is cash, goods, that is a stock, and building. Three assets are involved, and who is investing these things into the business? Owner is represented by the capital. So four things are involved. Cash you have written, then stock you will write, then building, and extreme right you will write capital. Next transaction, purchase goods for cash. Again cash is involved and stock is for purchase and sales. You always think stock, not income or expenses like in general. Purchase of goods means stock is coming, is you are purchasing stock is increasing as an asset, stock is increasing. When you are selling, stock is decreasing. So here purchase goods for cash, that is stock is involved, which is already written here. Cash is involved, cash is also already mentioned here. So another transaction, Sold goods costing rupees 20,000 for 35,000. Again, this is a cash sale. So stock is involved, cash is involved, and at the same time profit is involved, because cost of the goods sold is 20,000 and we are selling for 35,000. So the difference of 15,000 is a profit, and yesterday I have told you profit or loss will be, profit will be added to the capital, loss will be deducted from the capital, expenses will be deducted from the capital, and income should be added to the capital. So in this transaction, sold goods costing rupees 20,000 for 35,000, stock is involved, cash is involved, and profit is involved. So first of all, cash is increasing by 35. We will do it later. First, we cash is already written, stock is already written, capital is already written, no need to add anything. Now next is purchase goods from Rahul. This is credit transaction, stock is involved, and Rahul, that is a creditor, is involved. So we will write creditor here, stock is already mentioned. Now next is sold goods to Varun costing rupees 52,000 for 60,000. Again, this is credit sale. So goods in stock is involved, which is already mentioned here, but debtor is involved, debtor is not mentioned, so we will write debtor here. And there is a profit, for profit capital is already written here. Now next transaction is paid cash to Rahul in full settlement 53,000. So we are making payment to Rahul. Rahul is our creditor. We are supposed to make payment to creditor 55,000, and in full settlement we are making payment of 53,000. It means in this transaction, creditor is involved, cash is involved, and discount received is involved, because we are supposed to pay Rahul 55,000, but we are making payment 53,000 in full settlement. At the time of journal, I have told you, when the full settlement word is written, it means your supplier is agreed to receive the amount you are making payment right now. It means it is implicit that he is allowing 2,000 rupees as a discount received to you, and it's an income and it should be added to the capital. Now next transaction, salary paid. So cash is involved and expenses, salaries and expenses, cash and expenses. Cash is already written and expenses will be deducted from the capital, and capital is already mentioned. So the next transaction is received cash from Varun in full settlement of 59,000. Again, Varun is a debtor right now for us, and right now he is making payment. So cash is increasing, cash is already written, debtor is already written, but the same time we are allowing discount, which is a loss for the business, and it should be deducted from the capital. Capital is also mentioned. Now next, there are 12 transactions. Now transaction number 9 is rent outstanding. So outstanding expenses, yesterday in my notes, as well as I have explained you, for rent outstanding in accounting equation, two accounts are involved: rent as an expense and rent outstanding is a liability. So rent as an expense will be deducted from the capital, and rent outstanding will be shown as a liability. So in your format you will write outstanding expenses, which is not yet written, so you will write outstanding expenses. Now after that I move forward to another transaction, commission received. So cash is already written in your format, commission received is an income, capital is already written. Now next is withdrawn for personal use. Withdrawn for personal use, drawing is involved and cash is involved. So cash is already written, drawing is nothing but decrease in capital. Capital you have already mentioned in your format. So next, last one is for deciding the items of assets and liabilities is depreciation on building. So depreciation, journal entry is depreciation account debited to asset account, that is building account. So two things are involved: depreciation as a non-cash expenses, expenses will be deducted from the capital, and building is because it is decreasing, it will be deducted from the building is already mentioned. So after this you start writing each transaction and showing it in the form of equation. So first transaction is started business with cash, goods and building. Cash is involved, stock is involved, building is involved. So cash we will write 2,30,000. For stock we will write plus 1 lakh. Building we will write plus 2 lakh. Total amount is a capital. So 2 lakh plus 1 lakh, 3 lakh plus 2 lakh 30,000, that is 5 lakh 30,000 will be shown under capital. Now equation is 2 lakh 30 cash, 2 lakh 30,000, stock plus 1 lakh, building 2 lakh, debtors 0, creditors 0, and outstanding expenses 0. So equation is 2 lakh 30,000 plus 1 lakh plus 2 lakh, that is 5 lakh 30. Total of the asset side is 5 lakh 30,000 and capital is 5 lakh 30,000. Total liabilities are 5 lakh 30. So equation is balanced. Next is purchase goods for cash. Again stock is increasing, so in the stock you will write 50,000, and for cash, so cash is decreasing by 50,000, you will deduct 50,000. So if you analyze this equation, the asset is increased by 50,000 and the same time it is decreased by 50,000. So no effect, total asset equal total liability, no effect on the equation. So new equation, cash is now reduced by 50,000, now it becomes 1,80,000. Stock is increased by 50,000, now it become 1,50,000. Building is 2 lakh, rest debtor is 0, creditor is 0, outstanding expenses is 0, capital is 5,30,000. So if you check it, if you make total of the asset side, it will also come 5,30,000. Liability plus capital is also a balance of 5,30,000. So accounting equation is balanced. Now next transaction, purchase goods from Rahul. So goods is increasing and the same time creditor is increasing. So we on the credit, just below the creditor you will write 55,000, and on this in the stock column you also add stock 55,000. So new equation will be cash remains same 2,15,000. Stock, now it become, after adding 50,000 it become 1,85,000. Building is 2 lakh, creditor 55,000, outstanding expenses 0, and capital is 5,45,000. So if you add it, it comes 6 lakh on one side. On the liability side is total of the liability is 6 lakh, and asset total is also 6 lakh. So accounting equation is balanced. Now next transaction is sold goods to Varun costing rupees 52,000 for 60,000. So stock is decreasing by 52,000, and Varun, it is credit sales, so Varun as a debtor it is increased by 60,000. So and the difference between 60,000 and 50,000, that is 8,000, this is a profit, it should be added to the capital. So if you analyze this equation, on asset side minus 52 plus 60,000, the net effect is 8,000 plus, and liability and capital side plus 8,000. So accounting equation is balanced. New equation is 2,15,000 cash. Now stock become, after adding 52,000, 1,33,000. Building is 2 lakh, debtor is 60,000, creditor 55,000, and capital is 5,53,000 after adding 8,000. Now next transaction is paid cash to Rahul in full settlement of 53,000. Full settlement rupees 53,000. Rahul was supposed to be paid 55,000. Rahul was supposed to be paid 50. Rahul was supposed to be paid 55,000. Instead of 55,000, we are making payment of 53,000, right? So we are making payment 53,000. So 53,000 will be deducted from their creditor is fully settled, means creditor, our liability as from the creditor is fully settled, that is 55,000. And there is a loss of 2,000, there is a income of 2,000, as a we are receiving discount received 2,000, so it will be added to the capital 2,000. If you see the effect, asset side is decreased by 53,000, liability side is also decreased by 50, because minus 55,000 plus 2,000, that is net effect is minus 53,000. Now new equation is cash become 1,62,000 after deduction of 53,000. Stock is 1,33,000, building 2 lakh, debtors 60,000, outstanding expenses 0, creditor become nil, and capital become 5,55,000. If you add it, so total liability is for 5,50,000 and total asset is also 5,50,000. If you add 1,62,000 plus 1,33,000 plus 2 lakh plus 60,000. Now next transaction is salary paid. Next transaction is salary paid. Salary paid means cash is involved, cash is decreased by 20,000, and the same time salaries expenses, it should be deducted from the capital minus 20,000. Now the new equation is 1,42,000, 1 lakh plus 1,33,000 as a stock, building 2 lakh plus debtors 60,000, equal creditors nil, outstanding nil, and capital become 1,35,000. Now next transaction received from Varun in full settlement of 59,000. Varun was supposed to be paid, from Varun we are supposed to receive 60,000, but in full settlement Varun is making payment of 59,000. It means 1,000 we have allowed discount. So Varun's capital is settled, means 60,000 minus 60,000, his account is settled. Cash is increased by 59,000, and the same time we have a loss due to discount allowed minus 1,000 from the capital. So new equation is total cash is 2,01,000, stock is 1,33,000, building 2 lakh, debtors 0, creditors 0, outstanding expenses 0, and capital is 5,34,000. Still question is going on. There are 4 transactions left. Now I'm taking the first transaction. Rent outstanding. 2 accounts are involved. Rent as expenses, rent outstanding is a liability. So on the liability side, we have already mentioned above in our format that outstanding expenses. On the just below the outstanding expenses, we will write 3,000, and this is our expenses should be deducted from the capital 3,000. So new equation is 2,01,000 cash, 1,35,000 stock, 2 lakh building, debtor nil, creditor nil, outstanding expenses 3,000, and capital balance is now 5,31,000. Now next transaction is commission received. 2 things are involved, cash is involved and the income. Commission received means commission received is the income, and it should be added to the capital. So you will add 13,000 with the cash and 13,000 with the capital. Now in new equation, cash become 2,14,000, stock 1,33,000, building 2 lakh, debtors 0, creditors 0, outstanding expenses says 3,000, and capital is 5,44,000. Now next transaction, withdrew for personal use. So cash is decreasing, and the same time drawing is nothing but the decrease in capital. So cash will be decreased by 20,000 and capital is decreased by 20,000. New equation, cash become 1,94,000, stock is 1,33,000, building 2 lakh, debtor 0, creditor 0, and outstanding expenses 3,000, and total of capital become 5,24,000 after deducting the drawings. Last transaction, depreciation on building. Building is having 2 lakh and depreciation is calculated 10,000. So 10,000 will be deducted from the building. Building is decreased by 10,000. Building is decreased by 10,000. And the same time, depreciation is a non-cash expenses or loss for the business. It should be deducted from the capital. So final equation is cash 1 lakh, cash is 1,94,000, stock 1,33,000, building is now having balance 1,90,000 after deduction of depreciation, debtor are nil, creditors are nil, and outstanding expenses 3,000, and capital become was 5,14,000. Now if they ask you to prepare balance sheet, then on the balance sheet, in the balance sheet on the asset side you will write cash 1,94,000, stock 1,33,000, debtor 1,90,000. And on the liability side you will write capital 5,14,000 and outstanding expenses 3,000. And if you total it, you got to know that both the side is having balance of 5,70,000.